Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My wife and I are in baby step 2. We've just driven in and found you, which is fantastic. However, it is occurred to us that we hit tax season and we had to pay this year, and we're worried about stopping our investments because we're going to have to pay probably 3 times more next year in taxes. So I'm really wondering what's the justification of, not paying ourselves first and investing, and more so paying the government and losing out on some of that money, even though we'll have more to go towards baby step 2.
How much are you putting in your 401ks?
I have a 6% and a 6% match.
The match doesn't count for taxes. How much are you putting in the 401ks in cash?
About $540 a month.
So $6,000 a year.
Yes, sir.
And what's your household income?
$131,000.
Okay. So this saves you $2,000 in taxes.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay. And how much debt do you have?
About $120,000.
On what?
We have $12,000 on credit cards, $50 on student loans, and 16 vehicles.
Okay. So, I'm trying to keep from being a smart ankle. So you've got $120,000 in consumer debt. You've been spending more than you make on credit cards, and now suddenly you're worried about tax planning. So, sorry. What we have found is that the power of focus supersedes a little bit of tax savings and missing out on a little bit of match for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And so you've got cars you can't afford. You've been living a life you can't afford. And so you've never addressed the student loans. They have their own bedroom at your place. And you make a ton of money and you're still broke. And yes, so a little bit of tax savings does not fix that. What fixes that is a dramatic change in paradigm by you and your wife to completely take your lifestyle to scorched earth and get this freaking mess you made cleaned up. And with that visceral, emotional movement, the way I just said it, down in your stomach, that's when you quit everything because the house is on fire and we're trying to get the family out alive. And we're not worried about whether or not we turned off the faucet. Does it make any sense?
Yes, sir.
You're majoring in minors.
Right. Is that something we just need to budget for the tax season?
Yeah, you change your withholding to where you have the appropriate amount withheld, so you don't have a tax bill above your withholding at the end of the year. But the loss on taxes and the loss on the match is temporary, and mathematically you come out way ahead 10 years from today because you actually do clear the debt, because you actually do transform the people in your mirror. And that's the key to this. It's not a math problem. If you were doing math, you wouldn't be where you are. People that do math don't buy $60,000 cars they can't afford. People that do math don't have credit card debt. And so, this is not a math problem. It's a behavior problem and a shift in how we live and how we think and who we are as people. And that's what we're trying to get you to do. And so when we start nuancing and carving off the edges around the thing, it changes. It keeps that from occurring.
You have to have balanced reasoning on both sides. If you say you care about the $2,000 saved in taxes, then why don't you care about the $2,000 that you're losing on interest on your student loans and your cars and your credit cards?
Yeah.
That's way, way more than that every month, keeping that debt around.
Yeah. So let's get in attack mode and clean this out of your life for the last time, Brody. That's what Aaron, that's what we would tell you to do. And so, yeah. It's not a math problem. It's a me problem. Personal finance is not the problem. It's the symptom. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Our very first time this has ever happened, a millionaire drove in to be in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions to do this interview right here in our lobby. Welcome, Julie. How are you?
Oh, I am wonderful, Dave. Every day above ground is a good day.
I hear you. And you're from where?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow. Okay. So 4 or 5 hour drive, I guess.
Not bad.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in. So what is your net worth?
$4.3 million.
Way to go. Good job. And what is that? What's the breakdown of that? What's it invested in?
Well, the 0.3 is my house.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily mutual funds.
Mm-hmm.
That does include both my husband and my IRA.
Mm-hmm.
And each of us have over $1 million
Great.
in our individual IRAs. And those are Roth IRAs, by the way.
Ooh, nice.
So the taxes are paid.
Very nice. Very nice. And what's your age?
I'm 59.
Okay. And how much of the $4.3 million was inherited? You heard me just talk about that.
I am from a poor family.
Zero.
Zero.
Okay. All you inherited was the desire to not be broke.
That's right. You better believe it.
I hear you. So what was the range of your household income through your working life?
Well, I have to break this down to the first million and then thereafter.
Okay.
I was a millionaire by the time I was 37.
Okay.
And every time I say I really mean to include my husband, Mark. He couldn't be here today.
Okay.
But it should be we. But since I'm the person talking, I'm saying I.
That's okay. We, yeah.
But when we had our first million, we were millionaires by the time we were 37.
How'd you do that?
Frankly, Dave, unfortunately, this was before the baby steps were out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to figure it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We read a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but also we came down to a very simple strategy.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 incomes.
Mm-hmm.
We lived on one and we paid off our debt with the other. And then once we paid off the debt, then we started investing.
Sounds like our plan.
That's what we did.
Very good. So what was your income during those years?
It was between 40 to 50K.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's how you got the first million.
That's how I got the first million.
And they say the second one's easier, was it?
The second one is really easy because my husband and I both switched careers.
Uh-huh.
We went to IT.
Mm-hmm.
I was an account manager, sales, and
Mm-hmm.
IT recruiting,
Mm-hmm.
and he moved over to, actually he's in big data now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So our incomes went up.
Mm-hmm.
It's been anywhere from 100K. Every once in a while we'll have a great year.
Mm-hmm.
One year we had about 300, but
Wow.
that's abnormal for us.
And what's your degrees in?
Well, I have a degree in chemical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and then my husband has a marketing degree.
Okay. And GPAs?
Mine was around 3, and my husband's was similar.
Okay. All right. And how much of the $4.3 million is there because you borrowed money to create wealth?
None.
Okay. And what part has giving played in your financial plan through these years?
Oh, Dave, I have to tell you, this is something, and you have to bear with me because I get choked up about giving, because this is the best part of being wealthy. My husband and I both believe that the Lord loves all his creation. And because of that, we decided that we were going to set up avenues to help people, and we were going to set up avenues to help animals. And most of our giving for people is through the church. We've also been able to set up scholarship funds at our respective high schools.
Wow.
Those were on our bucket list. That's what both of us wanted.
Very cool.
And for animals, my husband and I have both been volunteers at this no-kill animal shelter. It's a regional one. It's PAWS. It's in Monroe, Ohio. We've been volunteers in one capacity or another for over 25 years. We built a new shelter. We had a mortgage. And frankly, I'm scared to death of mortgages. And so we have been able to issue a personal challenge in the amount of $250,000 that we are meeting donations up to that amount, 1-to-1, to pay off their mortgage.
Good for you. That's fun.
So anyway,
matching giving
I
is
am
that's
excited.
leveraging your giving there, the matching idea. That's a great idea. Very well done. So how many brand new cars before you were 37, before your first million, did you buy?
None.
0. Okay.
We had beaters.
Okay. Very cool. And what's your all's reading habits look like in a month? How many books you read?
Oh my goodness. My husband and I are both avid readers. I would say both of us read 6 to 8 books a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're voracious.
Yes,
Wow.
we are, both of us.
That's wild. I feel shamed right now. I thought I read a lot. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. And how much of the $4.3 million did you all steal? I couldn't resist it. I have this sweet lady that drove down from Cincinnati right here in the lobby. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. So your message to the 25-year-old version of you guys, can this still be done, and what should they do?
Well, I have two messages. One is to the 25-year-old version, and I would say it's incredibly easy. But I would recommend starting early. You know, the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. Mm-hmm. And frankly, it only took us, if you put together paying off debt and becoming a millionaire, a total of 7 years.
Yeah. That's
not too long in your overall lifespan.
Yeah.
But that would be my advice to my 25-year-old self. But let's say it's me talking to my 70-year-old self.
7?
If I were talking to myself as an older person.
Oh, 70.
As a 70-year-old.
Okay. The answer is thank you.
Well, Dave, what I would also say is it's never too late.
Oh,
I have a friend who is a single mom. And she's a couple years older than me. Mm-hmm. And about 10 years ago, she went through a nasty divorce, has some children. In that situation, you're in the hole. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She told me just this week she's become a millionaire. 10 elapsed years.
Yay! I love it. Well, it can be done. And there are not structural flaws with the economy that keep the little man down. And that stuff that you hear, it's being ridiculously weird. And you all have been weird. And your spending patterns, your habit patterns are not normal. They're not what most people do. But you have an abnormal level of wealth. And there is a causation there. There is a correlation and a causation for those of you that struggle with statistical analysis in your ideologies. But it really is. This is what causes it, because we see this theme all throughout our research and all throughout these people that we talk to. Julie, way to go. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Nice to meet you.
Very good to meet you. Thank you for making the trip all the way from Cincinnati. It's an honor to spend time talking to you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Nikita starts off this hour in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Nikita. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, sir. So nice to meet you. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Great. So I had a little bit of background. So my parents went through Financial Peace University, and I stumbled across their book from that class about 2 weeks ago and started listening to your show. As a result, I am in baby step 2. I do have quite a bit of student loan debt, a car loan, and about $6,000 remaining in credit cards. I would like to buy a house in the next 3 to 5 years. Knowing all of that, my question is, should I close credit cards that carry a zero balance even though they've been open for 7 to 10 years? And how does that affect my credit score, knowing that I'd like to buy a house at some point?
Okay, we're going to recommend you're debt-free and that you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, and you save your down payment to buy a house. Okay?
Okay.
So how much do you owe on your car? How much do you owe on your car?
$9,000.
Okay. What do you owe on your student loans?
$232,000.
Okay. You a doctor or a lawyer?
Yeah. A lawyer.
Okay, cool. How long you been out?
About 5 years.
Okay. What are you making?
$71,000.
After 5 years?
Yes, sir. I work for the government.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and tread out on the uncomfortable land of uncomfortable. You have $232,000. You need to not work for the government.
Okay.
Because you have the potential to make twice what you're making in your sleep. Don't you? Don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
the idea behind working for the government was that they would forgive the loan after 10 years. I'm about 3 years into that.
Yeah. So for 7 years, we're not going to buy a house? Because we're going to limp along? Nah. I would just change careers.
Okay.
and get out of debt in like 2 years. Well, it won't be 2.
That does make sense.
It wouldn't be 2.
Okay.
It'd be 3. But you'd be debt-free in 3 years. And, that's... So let me just back up for a second for other people that are listening, not just for you. But here's the decision-making paradigm that this 10-year debt forgiveness causes people to mess up on. I'm just going to talk about it right in front of you, Nikita. Okay.
Sure.
You have the ability to make $150,000 a year. You're making $70,000, so that's $80,000 loss, so that you can get debt forgiveness for 10 years. That's $800,000 you paid to pay off this $232,000. You see how I did that?
I never thought of it that way. Yes.
Yeah. That's what government subsidized crap causes people to do. That part of our brain dies when we sign up for this, and so that's what I don't want folks to do. Now, you're a few years into it. We're not just picking on you, but I had this call last hour. Another guy wanting to, work somewhere, work as a teacher 10 years and somewhere, and be underpaid so that he could get his student loans forgiven. And that it wasn't because he had a calling to community service. He was just trying to get rid of the student loans. And so, so if I'm in your case, I'm going to go make $100,500 almost immediately, moving towards $200, and get this cleared up as fast as I can. Be debt free. Now, back to your original question. There are 2 ways you can buy a home: a really, really good credit score, which is going to require that you play kissy face with the bank a lot, and you pay everybody on time early, and you have a lot of debt, and you pay everybody on time and early, and you can, if you just work that and you pay them a lot of interest over time, you can build up a credit score. You probably have an excellent credit score right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is yours? 800?
Just under. I'm at 799.
Yeah. Well, you're paying a lot of interest. I mean, you're paying on these student loans. You're paying on the car. You've had the credit cards for 7 years. You talked about that, right? And so,
yes, sir.
Yeah, you've worked real hard at that, and you've given them a lot of money for that score. So you can either maintain that score, and you get a house. Just they won't even think about it. They'll just throw money at you for a house with a 780. I mean, they'll just give you money and sign you up for all kinds of wonderful things that you don't need. So, or you can have a 0 credit score, and you can qualify for a home using what's called manual underwriting. Now, a debt-free attorney that makes $180,000 a year and has a 0 credit score has no trouble getting a home loan.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, some mortgage companies are too stupid to know how to do that, but Churchill Mortgage and others that know how to do manual underwriting with a 0 credit score is that. So I would not worship at the altar of the great FICO. He is not your provider. He's been messing you over for years. And I instead would declare him a false god and run him off. And that would mean that I don't care what my credit score is. As a matter of fact, my goal is to systematically get rid of it, which the only way you have a 0 credit score is you've paid off every single thing and you have zero things reporting with a balance or open account of any kind on your credit report. And about 6 months later, they will declare you a non-human, a 0 credit score, which was one of the greatest honors of my life, was that they sent me an email and they said, we're so confused. Did you die? And I thought that was maybe a threat, but I wasn't sure. That, they were really worried at FICO that I had that my credit score was indeterminable. I must have died. It'd be the only way that you don't participate in this. And it's like, man, that makes me redneck right there enough to want to get off the grid completely. But I definitely want to get off the credit grid. I'll just tell you that, because it's a treadmill. So all of that to say, I'd go double my income, get these debts paid off as fast as I could. Wouldn't worry about my credit score except to make sure that it is systematically being destroyed down to 0. And that would mean paying off those credit cards and closing the accounts, because your credit score will drop when you do that. And you've worked so hard on yours, it's going to take your breath away when it does that, but you have a goal of going to 0. That's what I would suggest you do. And now we'll see what you do, whether you want to play through or not. But I sure wouldn't trade $800,000 for $200. Sure wouldn't make that trade. Davis is with us in Raleigh. Hi, Davis. How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. Ramsey. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right, so I have $21,140 in debt, just under $15,000 in the bank. I have a vintage car worth $4,500, and I can sell personal assets up to $2,000. I had a high-end engine business that I was running that I had to shut down due to the fact that I had been scammed once and then lied to right after that, which made me build up this debt. I had been leveraging the engines via debt with my brother, which, looking back on it, was a very poor decision.
Agreed.
I'm wondering, since I'm struggling to pay back this debt, as you can tell, I'm kind of young. How do you think that I should either try and settle this or, settle some of it off while paying some of it with my brother and still maintain a healthy relationship with him? Because
you owe your brother the $15,000?
I do. I owe my brother.
No, I mean $21,140.
Right. I owe $1,500 to my dad and the rest to my brother.
Okay, and you have $15,000 cash in the bank.
Right.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 14.
14?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And how old is your brother?
He's 16.
Dude, do you know how weird this sounds?
I know it sounds crazy, but I've just, I've always done entrepreneurial things, but I started looking into debt, and this was before I got to you, and I thought I could build the business, and for a while it was working.
Where was your father that did not allow you to go $21,000 into debt to your brother who's 16 when you're 14? Where's your father? I want to box his ears.
He's pretty angry about it, understandably now.
He stood there and allowed it to go on. I don't have 14-year-olds doing $21,000 transactions under my roof, and I don't know what the flip's going on. Okay,
right.
Take the $15,000 out of the bank and pay your father the $1,500. I guess he should probably be penalized more than $1,500 for being a doofus as a dad. But anyway, pay him the $1,500 and pay the rest to your brother. Sell your vintage car, and I think your brother's paid off then, right?
Right. Should be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't need a vintage car when you're 14 anyway. Not a lot you can do with it.
All right.
And it's probably older. It's probably older than you are. So yeah, just get rid of it and clean up this mess and learn the lesson. And dude, I got to tell you, this is a weird call. I'll just be truthful with you. You need to understand. It's awesome that you could be involved in a business that was that big a deal at 14, but for your parents to allow this kind of disaster to occur under their roof to their own child is irresponsible. And I'll just say that out loud, just so you can hear me and your dad can hear me, and he can be pissed at me later. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Listen, you want to let your teenagers experience the pain of their bad decisions, but not with that many zeros on it. I mean, I want them to make a bad decision and have to fix something that's $1,000 or $500, and they got to work their way out of it, and it's a real pain, and it costs them half their summer because they made some bad decisions, that kind of stuff. I want my teens to make decisions and have the results of the decisions land on their head. That's called being a grown-up, and it's me teaching them to be a grown-up. But I don't put that many zeros on the end of it to where a kid is hung out to dry at that level. And so, wow. That's just astronomical. Yeah. Those of you wanting to teach your teens, and for that matter, preteens, how to handle money, Smart Money, Smart Kids is how we raised ours. That's the book that Rachel Cruz and I wrote together that we raised our kids with. And we allowed them to experience the pain of their stupidness, but not with the zeros on the end like that. I mean, we want them to feel the pain, and we want them to be entrepreneurial and understand what risk feels like and all of that, but oh my goodness, I thought I was talking to a 25-year-old. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Jeremy is with us in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
Hi there, Mr. Ramsey. Doing great. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, wife and I are both recent graduates. We have an amount of debt, looking at $290,000 in student loans.
Good God. Who's the doctor?
My wife has her doctorate of physical therapy. I have a master's of environmental health and safety, a bachelor's of chemistry, and my question is, would it be a bad decision to purchase some rental properties to increase our cash flow?
You're broke. You're a $300,000 in debt, and you call me up and want to buy rental property. No. You have a crisis. You're Congress. You have a mess. No. You are on beans and rice and beans. No vacation. You will not see the light of day. You will work like an animal until you get this mess cleaned up. No, you don't buy rental property.
Okay, this is what we've done so far. We sold our house. Your program showed us we couldn't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
We sold our house. We paid off $10,000 in debt here lately. We have $37,000 cash that we have from selling our house, and the rental house we're in right now is $800 a month. We could buy a $60,000 house and have a $400 mortgage, and have an additional $400 to put toward debt. Was my viewpoint on it.
Yeah, that's assuming the renter pays.
Assuming the renter pays, yes.
And assuming it's rented.
Yes, and
those are two pretty big assumptions.
We're on a suburb, and rental houses are extremely hard to find. They stay full, it seems like.
Okay.
So I'm a handyman. I did all the renovations myself on the last house. Anything that come up, I would do myself on these rental houses, and we could balance a home mortgage and a rental property mortgage right now cheaper than we could a rent house.
You have $300,000 in student loan debt, dude.
I know, yes, sir.
Don't talk to me about buying a rental house. Don't. I mean, I'm going to go visit Pluto in a minute. Don't do that. No, please. Use the money to get out of debt. Keep your life simple. Quit trying to borrow your way through all of your dreams. You're turning them into nightmares. Pay off the debt. Kathy is in Orlando to start off this segment. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I was hoping you could help give me some sound financial advice during difficult marital times. Do you have any? Is it any different than regular marital times? Like if you're having difficulties, like say your husband has a girlfriend.
Yeah, that'd be pretty difficult. So is this marriage going to end?
It depends on him.
Really? You're pretty forgiving.
I'm really struggling. Well, he says they're just friends.
Yeah, when did you discover this?
Actually, he told me about it. He's like, I'm just going, the first encounter or visit with the ex-girlfriend, it's actually his ex-girlfriend from 25 years ago. He reconnected with her.
Facebook.
And no, not even. No, just, I don't know if he's going through a midlife crisis. I don't know what's going on.
You need to see a counselor, darling. Your brain's jumbled up.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah, mine would be.
We're just friends.
Mine would be. Oh, no. There's a murder getting ready to be committed here.
Well, yeah.
You've got to. Yeah. You need to get some guidance because you're trying to be sweet and you're trying to believe it, and yet your brain in your heart, but your brain is telling you this guy's cheating on you.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think
line.
Sleepovers are a cool thing. I've said this, and he continued again just this month.
Okay.
He said, nothing's happening.
Oh, yeah. Darling, you are sweet. You're so naive. Okay. No, adults don't do sleepovers with people they're not married to of the opposite sex, okay? That is not normal. That's whacked! That's whacked!
That's what I said.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said.
You need to go see a counselor, and you need to go see a divorce attorney, and then you need to decide which one you're going to use. But Bubba needs, he game is up with Bubba here. He's played that as, yeah. So, darling, the way you prepare financially, and I'm so sorry you're going through this, is hold on, I'm going to talk to you when I come back. This is the Dave Ramsey Show, talking with Kathy in Orlando, and I had to get up off the floor to give her a proper answer. Her husband has reconnected with his old girlfriend from 26 years ago. He's doing sleepovers with the old girlfriend, says nothing's going on, and she's trying to figure out how to prepare in a bad marriage situation financially. Is that a fair summary of what you told me, darling?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been married?
18 years.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, let me just from an outside perspective tell you what the 12 million people listening to me right now are all thinking, okay? Normal people that are married do not have sleepovers with the opposite sex ever in any circumstances that they are not married to. Okay? That's just not acceptable social behavior. It's nuts. Okay.
I've even said that. I was like, no, this isn't right.
I know. This is nuts. And the fact that he would try to play it off on that says that he has a level of BS in his life that is unbelievable. Okay? So he's off the ranch, kiddo, is what I'm saying. And I'm trying to be kind to you because you're hurting and you're sad, and I don't blame you. But you need to have the thing that's rising up inside of your throat validated, because you have to have that unless you have absolutely no self-esteem at all. You have to be going, this is nuts. So you need somebody outside to say, this is nuts. This is nuts. I just said it, okay? I want you to hear that really loud and clear. If I suggested to Sharon Ramsey that I was going to sleep over with someone of the opposite sex, I would not have the equipment to do so by the time I left the house, okay? You follow me? That's how that's how that works in the normal world, all right? And so it just, whoa, unbelievable. So are you in a church at all?
No, I'm not.
All right. Do you have access to someone that can recommend to you a good, solid marriage counselor that can walk you through the tough decisions and conversations that you're about to have? You need to get someone to get someone in your corner that way, okay?
I have a call out. He has refused to go with me, so I have a call right now.
Of course, because he thinks
he doesn't want to be ganged up on.
Yeah, he's got this thing. Yeah, he doesn't want to get. Well, let me just tell you, 12 million people just ganged up on him. All right, they're all listening to me. They're all going, he's nuts. All right, he just got ganged up on too late, and he deserves it because he's completely out of line. Listen, if you want to divorce your wife and then go sleep around, we can discuss that. I don't like that. That's a bad idea. But this is this con this guy's trying to run on you is just, it's ludicrous. It really says he thinks you're stupid is really what it is. I mean, anybody that would believe this is stupid, and he thinks that about you. So you need to get a good counselor. Then the second thing you've got to get today, you've got to get with a counselor, and you've got to get with a good divorce attorney. I'm not saying you 100% are going to go through a divorce. That'll be your decision. But you need to have the information to know what it looks like, because information in the middle of high-stress scenarios, which you're in, helps you have power to make good decisions.
It's ugly, Dave. I've called a lawyer, and in the state I live in, it's 50-50 no matter what. Yeah. Adultery doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
So
that's right.
All the hard work, I'm the one who does the budget. I'm the one who's done all the planning.
Yep. He gets that's the way it is in most states now. Okay. And so that part's ugly, but it's uglier to stay in an untenable situation. And I'm not suggesting it's over, but it probably is, statistically speaking. I mean, if you turn this around, you've beat the odds, so to speak, right? So you go get some counselors to guide you through it. Now, what the attorney has taught you then is this. I've got a friend that does divorce recovery work all the time, and she has a wonderful saying. It's not a wonderful saying. It's an accurate saying. Divorce turns a marriage into a business transaction. And so it's now down to who gets what and when, and access to kids or whatever. You got children?
No kids.
Okay. That part's a little cleaner. But it's just a matter of divvying up the stuff, and it becomes a business negotiation that is laced in anger and broken hearts and visceral emotions, but it's still a business negotiation at the end of the day. And so here's the interesting thing, and I will throw this in. If this is the track he decides to go on, and if it ends your marriage, he's going to want out quickly. And if I were negotiating on your side, I would make that cost him. He's going to give up some stuff in order for you to make this quick. I would drag it out and make it painful for a while, just because I'm that kind of guy. So, I mean, I'm serious, because it sounds like the way you described that a minute ago, there's some assets involved that are pretty serious.
Well, not like we don't have any debt, which is a huge thing.
That's good.
And our house is paid off.
That's good.
And we're both putting 20%.
In other words, the court says you get 50%, but you can negotiate more than that in a settlement in Florida.
But the divorce lawyer, I need to find a better lawyer, because she was really cruel about it, and like, you'll just go, because I put him through school, and of course, or the last part of it anyway, the last year.
Yeah, what you want when you've got a divorce lawyer is you want someone that's kind of mean that you don't even really like them. Because this is a war.
I want them to be nicer to me, yeah.
It's a war. It's a war. We're going to war if you go that way, and I kind of think you're going to. I'm not telling you that's what you have to do, but I am telling you nobody is believing this BS line of his, okay? And so you need to get with a counselor that keeps you in between the ditches and reminds you that you are sane and he is not with this portion of the discussion. And then you need an attorney over here that's giving you advice on how to handle the money transactions and how to begin to negotiate the separation and when to throw him out and so on. And, all of that. But your counselor will lead you through a series of, if they're a strong counselor, a series of discussions that says, okay, we can continue to be married, but these are the rules if we're going to continue to be married. And if he doesn't want to go along with those rules, then we're not going to be married. And you have to set out some ultimatums for your sanity. Otherwise, you're the crazy one, and you're not.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm the one who's like, this is normal. I'm like, well,
no, this is not normal. This is not normal.
It's never happened in 17 years. I guess
it's not. It's just not normal. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It's just not normal. Normal people don't do this crap. Okay. I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff out there that's perverted and all that, but I'm talking about normal people that are they just and either you're gonna call something crazy that's crazy or you are crazy. There's really no in between. And so you have to kind of keep somebody in your corner while you're in these high-stress scenarios that give you information on the legal side and give you information on the emotional, psychological, and spiritual side to guide you through this so that you can so you make solid, good decisions that you don't regret later, that you weren't too harsh, but you were tough, and you weren't angry and bitter, but you allowed yourself to feel the emotions that are real, okay?
Okay.
And you just gotta have somebody walk with you, honey, and that's the thing. And I'm so sorry you're going through this, but I just want to validate some of those things that you're thinking are absolutely true. The reason I brought up Facebook is there's this ridiculous statistic that something like 20 to 30% of divorces have a Facebook contact to an old flame involved, and so there's this tremendous thing. And she said this one wasn't, but there's this tremendous problem out there of people looking up the old flame. Oh, I wonder what she looks like now. Most of the time you look her up and you're going, whoo, I did good. Or you look him up and you went, oh, really, son, back up from the table. This is what happens. Ramsey Show. Christopher is with us in Denver. Hi, Christopher. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How are you today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I'm got a little concern here. My 24-year-old daughter recently moved out, and she got a job that she starts on Monday in Hutchinson, Kansas. And I was wondering, she's over $60,000 in debt from medical bills and things of that nature. How can I help her get on the same page that I am with the total money makeover?
Have you talked to her about it?
I have, but she's very resistant.
Okay.
She really doesn't know, a whole lot about how to handle her finances.
Mm-hmm. And she has $60,000 in debt.
And it's accruing more every day.
Why? Why is it accruing more every day?
Well, she hasn't paid anything since, probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what is the debt? I mean, 60, is it all medical or what's the deal?
Mainly medical bills.
How much does she owe on her car?
She doesn't have one.
How much does she owe on her credit cards?
Well, she was smart. She didn't get one of those either.
So it's all medical? You keep saying mainly. Medical. What else is it?
Just like I said, it's just medical bills.
All right. So it is all medical bills then, not mainly.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. All right.
You're right.
What's she going to be making at her new job?
All she told me was she's going to be making $11 an hour starting Monday, working as a caregiver for the elderly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if you have, in order to guide an adult, whether they're your friend or your kid. They have to want guidance, be asking for guidance, and be willing to accept guidance. And right now, I'm not hearing any of that. I mean, that's why I don't talk to people here on the air that don't want help. They call me up and they want me to endorse their stupidity. I'm not doing that. And so the problem is when it's somebody you love, you kind of have to stand back and watch them do stupid. If you try to keep them from it, they won't. They're going to do it anyway because they're allowed to be stupid. That's the privilege of an adult. So, I mean, it sounds like this kid's a bit rebellious. She's like busting out and going and making $11 halfway across the country from her parents.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like she's up for a bump on the head. I'm afraid she's going to get some more bumps on the head. What was the nature of the medical bills? What happened?
Children. She's had about 6 kids.
She's 24 years old?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've touched on something with that rebellion thing, didn't I?
I think so.
Yeah. So where's the dad?
Well, that we're not sure of because she has got many kids all her kids are from different people.
I see. And where are all the kids?
Yeah, they're in foster care.
Okay. Oh, this kid, she's a mess. That's sad.
I mean, I'm just trying to help her out, but I don't have, the tools myself to do that.
Yeah, I would just tell her that the Total Money Makeover she has to read. When she's ready to turn her life around, you can show her how to do it. But, I mean, this girl is she's making a lot of bad decisions, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't make somebody take care of themselves and behave, and they have to choose to do that. But I would just pray for her and ask her, tell her that, when she wants some help with this stuff, that I'm standing here ready. Here, take this book with you, honey, and if you ever want to sit down and learn how to handle money, this will do it. But $11 an hour, the behavior patterns you're outlining for me, and $60,000 worth of medical debt, and halfway across the nation from her family is not a good formula. There's nothing in this that sounds good. I wish I could be more hopeful, but the only thing that's good about all this is, and you've done it and I've done it, most of us have done it anyway, we've done stupid. We know what it looks like, and you get that bump on the head, and then you get the opportunity to turn your life around. And so hopefully hers will turn around sooner than later. But, I suspect that she has other issues entering into her money problems more than we're outlining right now as you and I discuss this. Hi, Ken. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. It's nice to talk with you. The reason that I'm calling is that I recently inherited a great sum of money, approximately $50 million. And I'm just wondering, what do you think I should do with this?
You're not kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Who in the world left you $50 million?
My parents.
Wow. What did they do?
My dad was into everything, real estate. He was an automobile dealer. He sold private jets.
Wow.
On and on and on.
So $50 million cash or worth of assets?
This is cash.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Have you managed wealth prior to this?
Yes.
Okay. So you were already wealthy.
I was comfortable.
Okay. All right. Nothing like this, but at least in the millions. Okay.
Right.
I mean, 1 million would be wealthy, right?
Right.
That's called, as we all know, a millionaire. Everybody except Washington, which they think millionaire means you make a millionaire. But anyway, the thing that I do and that I teach people to do with all of their income, including an unbelievable sum like this, is to balance and use ratios between living some of it, enjoying some of it, in other words, giving some of it, and investing some of it. And so I would say, okay, how much of this do I want to systematically give? Because wealthy people who give are the ones that have fun with money. And I'm gonna spend some of it. I'm not gonna be, stack it all up in a cave somewhere, and right. I'm gonna enjoy some of it. I've always wanted this car, or I've always wanted to go on this trip, or I'm gonna buy this for my wife, or whatever, that kind of a thing. But it's not a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a very big percentage with this much money, and it's a lot of money.
Right.
You know, just kind of blow money almost, and then a percentage to invest yet for the next generation, and to create income to do even yet more giving and so forth. So I would sit down and think in ratios like that and say, okay, I'm gonna give this. Now, I'm an evangelical Christian, so I tithe. That's 1/10 of my income before I start anything, and then I do giving additionally to that on my ratio. And then I invest a ratio, and I spend a small percentage. But you're going to have a lot of, the spending portion is going to be, doesn't take much here for it to be a lot of fun. Greg's in Oklahoma City. Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks, Dave. I really appreciate you taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Where to start? I'm 42 years old, and I actually am the CEO of a business. I'm lucky enough to open it 9 years ago, and we're doing pretty well. The problem is I really don't have anything to show for it, and I really need advice on how to save. I have 2 children. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. My 16-year-old will be going to college here pretty soon. She's a junior. And I'm pretty much scared to death right now. I mean, the problem is we make plenty of money coming in. I have a spouse that has a spending problem, and I've actually had to tuck some money away, just for mortgage. Basically, if it shows up in the bank account, it's like a race to zero. Anytime I deposit a check, it's a race to zero. And that's not the way I was brought up, and that's not the way I run my business. And
so what do you pay taxes? You own this business, right?
I do.
And how much do you make a year?
I make right at $260,000 a year.
Taxable income?
Taxable income.
And you have nothing?
I pretty much, I have a home, I have some cars, but as far as retirement goes, I really don't have much. I don't, and it scares me to death.
What's not much? You got $10,000 or $100,000 or?
Well, I have about $50,000 cash that you've hidden from your wife. Yes, but and the problem with that is that actually goes to my mortgage, because if the money's in the bank, every time I deposit my paycheck, which I don't know, it's like $1,800 a week or whatever. It's a race to zero. If I actually left that money in there for that month and went to pay a mortgage, the money wouldn't be there for the mortgage at the end of the month.
Yeah. So what happens to the other $160,000 a year? Because $1,800 a week is less than $100 a year.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You said you made $260,000, but $1,800 a week is only $100,000.
Well, right. It's $110,000. That's my base salary, but we do get shareholder distributions throughout the year.
And where do those go? Into that same account?
Bonuses, and that money actually goes into the savings a lot. And then some do go into the checking account.
So where's all that gone?
I try to pull the majority of it out.
Where has all of that gone?
It's actually in a deposit box.
How much is in the deposit box?
Right at $50,000.
That's not even close. We're talking about $160 a year.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. The money, it's a race to zero.
Okay, so when you sit and talking to her about this, that your lives are completely out of control and you're spending like you're freaking in Congress, what does she say?
She actually feels really bad about it. She knows that it's wrong. She cries. We've had the come to Jesus talks. I'm going to change. Just give me a cash allowance. We've tried that.
And how old is she?
She is 43.
And how long have you been married?
We've been together since 94, and we were married in 98. So,
okay. Is she seeing a counselor?
Not for this, but she
needs
does
to.
For depression.
She needs to. Oh, bipolar?
No, it could be. She has not been diagnosed with bipolar. This
is a manic behavior.
it's absolutely insane because my daughter, luckily, and here's the thing, and this is her thinking, and from what she says, my daughter is very bright, and as a matter of fact, she turned us on to Dave Ramsey.
All right, stop a minute. Just stop. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, we have to decide if your wife is being a doofus or if she has emotional mental issues. And if she's seeing a counselor for legitimate depression and it's possible she's manic, that would explain this. In which case, you have to treat her as if she's got a mental issue, which she does. And that means she just has no access to money at all. Just take her off the account. Just open a new account. You manage the money because your wife is broken right now. And you care for her as if she's got a drug addiction or as if she's got cancer or as if she's got bipolar. And you take care of her until she walks through the healing process and is able to step back in and make an adult-like emotional contribution to this conversation. But you're asking someone who's broken to carry a load they can't carry when you dump that money into that account.
Right.
So just take it away from her. And it's not to punish her. It's because she can't, if she was doing cocaine, we're not going to supply it.
Right.
Okay? Because this is adding to her depression. When she's out of control like that, she wakes up with a depression hangover after this, is more depressed because she's more out of control.
Well, it's, when I get my bank statement, it's Verizon, or not Verizon, but
I don't care.
On Amazon.
I don't care. I don't care. What you've been doing is not working. You make $260,000 a year. You have nothing to show for it. There's a big freaking hole in the bucket. Quit using the bucket. Take the bucket away. Just, honey, I love you, and when you need some money, you come to me, and I will give you some money for whatever it is you're working on. But you're off of all accounts until we get your mental illness addressed.
Right.
Because that's where she is, dude.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Sit down with her and your counselor. Sit down with her and her counselor because you're adding to her depression.
Right.
You're part of her problem.
You're right.
And so the counselor,
enabling it.
Exactly. The counselor, well, you're making it worse because she gets more depressed because she feels like a doofus.
Right.
And so you need to sit down with the counselor and just go, baby, I'm taking you off of everything. And if she doesn't like that, let's go see a marriage counselor. And the marriage counselor will tell her the same thing if they got a brain in their head.
Right, exactly. I just feel like she's sabotaging everything that we've worked for.
No, it's because she's sick, buddy.
You're right.
You can't simultaneously treat her like she's got a mental illness and then on the other side come over here and act like she's a petulant teenager. Now, if she's a petulant teenager,
rationally, I understand.
It's not a rational transaction if that's what's going on. And then if it is a rational transaction, then we've just got a maturity princess issue. But that's nothing you've said in this conversation indicates that.
Okay.
So love her enough. Love her well. Take that responsibility off of her. She has no access to money, as if she's doing cocaine, starting today. And the only access she gives is you lovingly hand out little bits, and then you manage this household for the good of your future and your wife's future, called retirement, and the good of your kids' future. You make a ton of money, and you take control of this. You're the CEO of your house, too, my man. You can do this. And if you need some more help, you call me back. Susan's in New York. Hi, Susan. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so I have 35 credit cards, and I owe $19,000 in them. Mm-hmm. $30,000 school loan, which I have not paid, and the school loan was from 2009. I still haven't paid because I'm always putting it off.
Mm-hmm. How much do you say? 30 on the school loan?
30 on the school loan because it's my husband's and I.
Okay.
So we both went to school, and a $19,000 credit card. Mm-hmm. Now, we take home $60,000. Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to pay off some credit cards, but every week it just seems that I'm paying something, mm-hmm. like all minimums, mm-hmm. and it's just living paycheck by paycheck. So mm-hmm. I wanted to know, what can I do? 35 credit cards. Mm-hmm. So every week it is something. Should I pay off the ones that I owe the most and the other ones just put it for another month?
Okay. Are you ready to endure some pain to get rid of this mess?
It's going to leave us with hardly anything.
Are you ready to endure some pain to get rid of this mess?
Yes, I am.
What about your husband?
Oh, yes, he is.
Okay. All right. And the two of you need to sit down together, go on everydollar.com and do your budget tonight.
Okay.
You can download it to your iPhone or your Android or your desktop. It's free. It takes about 10 minutes to do your budget. Because what's happening now is you guys are just living from crisis to crisis to crisis to crisis to crisis. Check comes in, all the money goes out, and then you're broke and you can't figure out how to go to the grocery store.
Yes, exactly.
You're not living by any kind of plan. This money is owning you. You don't own it.
Yes.
And you got to get the other side of it, and the budget helps you do that. You're telling your money what to do instead of wondering where it went. The first thing that will happen when you sit down and write out this month with the money you have right now, and you give every dollar an assignment, every dollar a mission. That's why we call it everydollar.com. The first thing that will happen is you'll feel like you got a raise because you're going to go, where's all this money been going? Because disorganization leads to impulse, and being stressed out and desperate leads to impulse.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll quit going out to eat because you can't afford to go out to eat. You're done with restaurants.
Yeah.
And you're not going on vacation either. Don't talk to me about a vacation. You're freaking broke. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you finish every dollar, the next thing you need to do is get the 35 cards and put them on the center of the table and get your scissors out and cut up every single one of them.
Yes, okay.
Every single one of them. You need plastic surgery really bad.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Yes.
Now we have no credit cards. Now we have to live on a budget.
Okay.
And food's first.
Yeah.
So you're going to eat. Lights and water second.
Mm-hmm.
Before you pay anybody. And you take care of the house payment third. Before you pay anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you got car payments too?
No car payment. We did pay off our car.
Good.
Yeah, so that we don't want, but we do have private school. We pay for my daughter and babysitter for the baby.
And now when you squeeze every dollar out of this budget, and you wring every dollar out of it, you're going to look down and go, okay, what do we got to cut out that we're doing that we can't afford to do anymore? And on top of what do we got to cut out, what can we do to increase our income? What do we got we can sell? And you start, everything that's not bolted down is going to get sold. You're not going on vacation. You're not going to a restaurant. You're taking extra jobs. You're going to start looking at your career. I mean, your whole household is only bringing in $60,000 and you live in New York City. That's tough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You live in one of the most expensive places to live in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's just, it's doable, but you ain't got a lot of wiggle room here. And that's what's been happening. And every time a disorganization popped up or a crisis popped up, it went onto a credit card, and you were going backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards, and you've got to get back ahead of this thing. Then we're going to list our debts smallest to largest, and you're going to pay off the little one as fast as you can.
Okay.
And you're going to cheer and dance around the kitchen.
Okay.
And then you're going to pay off the next one, and you're going to cheer and you're going to dance around the kitchen. And you're not only cheering and dancing around the kitchen because you paid off the debt, you're doing it because for the first time in your life, you got control of your money.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's what you got to do, because right now you feel out of control, scared, and broke.
Yes, exactly.
Which makes you normal, and that's sad.
And the school loan, I just can't even talk about the school loan.
Let's get these credit cards done. You don't have any credit card payments? We can start working on the school loan.
Okay.
That's the big one, though. And if you want to put them on deferment, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just punch these credit cards in the face. But, I mean, you're working extra. You're doing everything you can. You got one goal, and that's get rid of this credit card debt as fast as you possibly can. And have a big garage sale this weekend. Put some stuff on eBay. Put some stuff on Craigslist. Let's turn some stuff into money.
Okay.
And turn this around. Now, I'm going to send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, which is the step-by-step game plan on exactly how to attack this and how to do this. And you guys, but your steps tonight are everydollar.com. Okay. Get your budget done, cut your credit cards up. That's your first two steps.
Okay.
And then you and your husband are in agreement. We're going to sacrifice deeply because I am so sick of living like this.
Yes, definitely.
And when you get sick and tired, you're ready to change your life, kiddo.
Yes.
You can do it. And you call me back if you need help, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Dave.
All right. You hold on. I'll have Kelly pick up. I'm going to give you a Christmas present. It's the Total Money Makeover book. Merry Christmas to you. This is the Christmas you changed your life. Are you ready? Set. Go. Lee is with us in Washington, D.C. Hi, Lee. How are you?
I'm doing okay, thanks. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
I've been married a long time, almost 18 years, and about 2 years ago, my husband found out that I had spent about $30,000 and didn't tell him. So within that time frame, we had lost a child. So he separated the money, and I went back to work to try to pay off my part of the debt. Well, when I realized I haven't really done much, so I asked him if he would take FPU with me Previously, we had done your plan, but we hadn't taken FPU, and he told me no, he doesn't want to take it with me because he doesn't see any progress. So I'm just calling to find out if you think I should take it on my own.
How long have you been married? You said 18 years. I'm sorry. How long ago was this that you disclosed that you had lied to him about $30,000?
I didn't disclose. He found out.
Oh.
I wish I would have disclosed. It would have turned out much better. About 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And what is the lack of progress is what in his mind? That you've not paid the debt down, or that you're still just spending like crazy?
A little bit of both. Not spending like crazy, but not putting all of my money that I'm currently making, or most of it, on the debt.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing with it?
I have no idea. Foolishness, I guess. Not really anything. I buy things here and there, and I kind of pay the minimums on my debt, and that's about it.
Well, this is a difficult deal because there's kind of two sides of the equation for me, and let me just kind of talk it out with you, okay? There's your side of the equation where you lied big time to your husband. He caught you, so he doesn't trust you anymore. Since then, you took a job, but that's really all you've done to fix the mess, because more importantly than you not taking a job or taking a job is that you haven't changed anything. You're still disorganized, you're still not handling money, you're still spending it all. That's problem number one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is I really don't like a situation where a husband is treating a wife or a wife is treating a husband over a 2-year period of time as if you're his daughter and he's punishing you, trying to make you learn a lesson or something. That's not a healthy marriage solution either. So I don't like his solution. I don't blame him for being pissed off, but I don't like his solution, and I don't like your behavior, your unwillingness to change. And so you guys really have a lot of stuff to work on. I do think the best scenario is for you to earn his trust by handling money well, but not by being abandoned by him, but by working with him. And so I think his abandoning you to your mess is unhealthy, and I think your lack of change is unhealthy because you're not, I don't blame him for not trusting you. You haven't earned any. But I also do blame him for just leaving you out there on your own. You're not a petulant teenager. You're his wife of 18 years. And so, I would approach this a lot differently. It might even be more uncomfortable for you if I were married to you. Because we would be working on this, or we would be working in the marriage counselor's office to bring our marriage to an end. Because you're going to freaking get to... I'm not going to be married to somebody I can't trust.
Right.
Not for a long time. I mean, I'll work with you for a while, and I'm not lacking in grace, but eventually... it's just like if someone's an alcoholic, or if someone's, doing drugs, and they say, I'm clean. Well, the only way somebody wants to stay married to a former addict is they come clean, stay clean. But when that trust is just continually broken, eventually they give up. And they go, well, I would just be crazy to stay in this cycle. So, that's kind of what he's facing, but he's not handling it very well. So I think I would suggest FPU for both of you and marriage counseling for both of you. And if he won't go to either, I would just go to marriage counseling and wait on FPU until you can get him to go with you.
Okay.
Because I'm afraid this is going to make it worse. It might help you, but I don't want to drive a wedge between you and him any further. You follow me? I want your marriage to be healed. I don't want it to be any further than this. So. And
he did pay off all of anything with his name on it. He's paid off.
Yeah, I know, but there's a level of selfishness here on his part. I mean, if he gets sick, you got to make him soup in bed. So it's for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in stupid and not, until death do us part. I mean, that's how that works. And so you're all in when you're married. It's not like, well, this is not a joint venture where you can just go, well, I'm not going to fix my partner's problem. It's your wife, for goodness sakes. So now I tell you what you might do. And again, the big answer is you need a marriage counselor. Okay, big time, both of you. Now, the smaller answer might be, and don't do this instead. In other words, do that one. But as a part of this, what if you sat down with him and said, okay, I'm going to go through financial peace. No, I'm not. I'm going to start working on my budget. Would you help me with it?
Okay.
Would you help me do a written plan? And then would you work with me and show me, because you're better at handling money than I am, and help me, put together a game plan to pay down on this debt. And then if I do that for 2 months with you helping me, would you go to FPU with me then?
I will try that.
And try to create a conversation, a dialogue here, then say, under what circumstances would you go to FPU? And will you help me with this? Or are you just going to abandon me? Because you're not saying I did a right thing. You're not defending it. I didn't hear you anyway. I think you said I did. What I did was stupid.
Foolish.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you just reach out and go, hey, help me with this. And you're not asking. I'm not saying by help. I'm not saying ask him to write a check today. Although I think he should write checks, but I think that comes later. But I think today you're just saying, help me by coaching me and showing me how to do this and walking with me, and then I'll take my money and do with it what you would do if you were doing this. How would you handle it? And so, just try to get him involved in your situation. And if I do that for 2 months or 3 months, would you agree then to go to FPU? And would you agree to sit down with a marriage counselor with me, because we've got a mess here? Because you got some pretty seriously damaged trust. I tell you, Lee, what some people don't realize is we call it financial infidelity in the financial coaching world. And for some people, it's hard to believe, but for some people, this broken trust is harder to get over than sexual infidelity. For some people. Now, that wouldn't be the case with me, but it would be. But for some people, it touches the same place in your soul. Hey, Ann, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. How can I help?
Have a situation with a daughter that we have just recently, in the last 3 weeks, found out has embezzled approximately $80,000 from our businesses. We have, and that's just from 2014, the beginning of these first few months, 2013, and we still haven't been able, in 2012, we haven't gone back to 2011 yet.
Oh, my Lord.
But,
how old is this girl?
28.
And what was her position with your firm?
She's still in the position. She's a manager.
Well, and why is she still in the position?
To be honest with you, we need her for right now. We have implemented changes where, as my husband says, the hemorrhaging has stopped. There's no way, we had no idea, but he's implemented changes where it cannot be done now. But until we get somebody to replace her, we absolutely have to have her for right now. And that's my question. I mean, we're taking it bit by bit. But, I don't even know what to do other than we do need her in that position for right now.
So what is your question of me?
For right now, I think my question is twofold. Number one, is it something that should be prosecuted? Number two, is there help in all your helpers that you have out there? Is there help for people that have an inner core problem with that? I don't even know how to, if she said she's interested in getting help, but I don't even know who to send her to.
Where's the money?
She has not indicated. She has not done. I honestly think that it's just, as I look back, I think it's shopaholic to the extreme, because there's nothing extravagant that you can see at all other than tons and tons and tons of clothes, shoes, jewelry, stuff like that.
Is she single?
Not now. Newly married.
And you guys own 100% of the business?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can't imagine the heartbreak that you're facing. I don't know what we would do in that situation. If you can absorb the financial blow, I don't think I would prosecute criminally, but it would probably be contingent upon some very extreme actions on her part. And I have to tell you, I think you're absolutely ridiculous for leaving her in the building one more minute. I don't care how much you think you need her. You are completely codependent if you think you need to leave a thief in the building. I got the very first thing that should have been done is she should have been her desk should have been cleaned out, and she should have been sent home with the understanding that we're going to decide whether we're going to criminally prosecute you on this, and that's going to be based on your level of repentance, which is going to be based on you telling us where every dime of this money went and getting a bunch of it back right quick, because some of it's probably still in her account somewhere. And you know, she hasn't even told you what she did with the money. I mean, my God, do you people not talk about anything? She stole $80,000 from you. I would have been all up in her business.
Right. I agree.
How can you possibly think you leave this person in the building?
And that's not a choice that I can make alone. That is a choice that my husband has to make, and that was his choice right now.
Yeah, and it's a bad choice. He's a bad leader. He's a weak leader, and he's going to lose more than the $80,000. He's going to lose the respect of his entire team, and he's probably going to end up losing revenue and lost customers as well, because this kind of weakness in leadership is a disease that will spread through an organization. And he's going to have to stand up, and he's got to man up. I know his little girl broke his heart. I get that. But the first thing he's got to do is get her out of the building. You would never keep an employee 10 seconds after they did embezzlement from you. Not 10 seconds. If they steal a roll of toilet paper, I'm not keeping them 10 seconds. They're a thief. Now, that's the employee part of it. And then you go over and say, okay, my daughter now has been accused of a crime. And now I've got to deal with my daughter. That's a separate issue. But we're going to deal with her from home, not from the office. And your husband desperately needs to step up into this. It's not a matter of being angry about it. It's a matter of wisdom and a lack of weakness versus strength. I mean, this is not... You're like sending out the signal this is okay by leaving her in the building. It's just unbelievable what you're telling your team. And you know, here's the thing. Your team probably knew some of this was going on. Depending on how big the team is, they probably smelled a rat. And now how you deal with that is going to dictate your all's future with these businesses. So I have my son-in-law works on our team. One of my daughters runs our family foundation. My other daughter works on our team. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, they would be out of the building instantaneously. They'd be gone if they stole $80,000. That day they would go home. And then I would decide other things that are harder decisions as to whether I'm going to criminally prosecute my own kid. I don't think I would. I'll be honest with you. I think that's where the dad would come in rather than the leader. But this organization cannot absorb the blow of that level of nepotism, and yours can't either. That's just sad. But it's so heartbreaking. It's just, I can't breathe. I'm just thinking about, you know, if Rachel or Denise or Winston or somebody, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it would just rip the heart out of my chest and crush it and just stomp on it. I mean, what kind of psychopath steals from their parents? But they do. And this girl has deep psychological problems. This represents an unbelievable level of narcissism and other pathologies that only a therapist is going to be able to outline for you. She's got to get some help. I mean, this is a broken, messed up person. Oh, how sad to face that with your own kid. I mean, it's tough enough for a small business to go through embezzlement and just the betrayal and the heartbreak of somebody you trusted that was on your team. But it's your daughter? I can't even imagine. Oh, Ann, I'm so sorry for y'all. But for goodness sakes, take action. For goodness sakes. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Lynn is with us in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call first.
Sure.
We need some advice on how to handle a situation with our daughter and son-in-law. They're both 27.
Mm-hmm.
She's once again unemployed, losing her third job in a year.
Why does she lose them?
Well, she just doesn't listen, I think. Can't get along with the people.
Okay.
Can't follow instructions.
So it turns out being a bud is not working out for her.
Right, but hadn't quite connected to her yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
She's been employed 22 weeks out of the last 61, but she does have a job that begins August 1st and is drawing unemployment until then.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them have made an attempt to get a part-time job or to increase their income or cut their expenses, and quite honestly, they're insulted by the suggestion of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We started early trying to teach her money management, but as you can tell, strong-willed, do-what-I-want attitude followed through on that as other areas in her life.
Okay.
And I must say that she doesn't come to us unless it's an emergency. The last emergency situation, though, was a call from her husband that she was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
We learned then that she had a minor car accident several months before that. To complicate it, their insurance had been canceled several months before that, and her husband had not only not told her, but he hadn't gotten around to getting any replacement insurance. And then she ignored the court date, so she was hauled off to jail. So you can see the trail here of irresponsibility.
Yeah.
So after discussing the situation, we told her husband that we'd pay the $1,000 to get her out of jail if and only if they'd agreed to some accountability on getting their finances in order. And he agreed. However, a couple of days later, when I tried to set up the meeting to discuss it, he sent me a text saying that he would not talk with me, that he would give me progress updates on their financial situation as he chose, and any further discussion would be considered harassment and dealt with as such.
Okay. I can handle that.
I was able to meet with him long enough to say, okay, if you're not willing to, do what you agreed to do, make a budget and accountability, don't be expecting us to supply money for future emergencies.
Yeah, you're right. You're wise there. Wow.
And then I was later told by his family that he was very fragile emotionally, and I should not have done that.
Yeah. Well, most buttholes are.
And I don't see any opportunity for discussion with them. So we could not understand how they were living at the level they were with the money they were making and her not working most of the time. But we found out that his mom monitors his cash account and puts money in when the balance is in the red.
That's shocking.
Yeah, she's paid off several credit cards several times and caught him up on car payments.
I got the picture. How can I help today?
Okay, I need support on what to do. I mean, I feel like I know what to do. I mean, I've looked at your website. We've, drawn, but you still feel like such a, have the guilt trip, and then to have his parents, or really his mom mostly, give you the guilt trip double. I guess I just need support on and how to follow through with this.
Okay, well, what you've got here is his mom is a complete butt. She's raised a butt. Your daughter's being a butt.
Yeah.
And if you participate in this, you are funding butts. I mean, you just can't do this. You just can't.
Why do I feel like such a butt?
You're not. You're not, because you're the only grown-up in the whole conversation. You're the only grown-up in the whole conversation. Nothing you told me was harsh. Nothing you told me was controlling or out or over the top, or you were interfering in their life. It was all acts of love. And you've been not only told to stay away, people have been rude to you.
Yeah, and that's probably not all of it.
Yeah, and so, here's the deal. We love you. We're praying for you. If you guys want to eat a dinner, come over. We'll feed you dinner. We're not going to listen to you whine about your life, though, and we're not going to give you any money. But we love you. Good luck. You remember that part where you told me to stay away or it would be harassment? I'm taking that part now, seriously. I'm going to stay away. And by the way, when I stay away, my checkbook is with me. That's how that works. No.
Well, of course, they don't have to come very often because Mom supports them.
Well, she'll run out of that eventually because she's an idiot.
I wonder.
Well, she will. She'll run out of money eventually.
What do we do?
You pray. That's all you can do.
Well, even in the future, like
the answer is no.
On the will. I mean, on our will.
I wouldn't leave them money.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay, you wouldn't leave them any at this point?
No. I told my kids, if you're going to be a doofus, I'm not funding doofus. Because here's the deal. I don't know where you stand, but I'm a person of faith. I'm a Christian. Mm-hmm. And God has told me real clearly that in the scriptures that I am managing money that he gave me for him. And I'm supposed to be a good manager. There's a chance of me putting your daughter in my will is 0 because I'm a good manager. Mm-hmm. And I've told my kids, if you're doing heroin or you decide you're going to run off and live a life of debauchery or not, you're not walking with the Lord, I'm not going to, I am duty bound by the Lord to not give you his money and fund your misbehavior with his money. Mm-hmm. I'm duty bound as a steward, as a manager. I have to. And so just understand, if you're going to run off and live a life of craziness, if you're going to be nasty and mean to us, then we're not going to be funding your life. Now, that can be changed while I'm still alive. You can grow a brain, grow a life, come back together, have some character, rebuild a relationship, and we'll put you back in the will. But our kids, it's real clear. They are entitled to nothing because they happen to be born of Dave and Sharon. Mm-hmm. 0 entitlement. 0. Because it's not my money. I'm managing it for God. It's not their money. They'll be managing it for him. And if they don't see it that way, they won't get any.
None.
0.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've been real clear on that. And we have a little meeting once a year and go over our estate plan. And our family has a family constitution. At the top of the constitution, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And it's not me being mean. I'm just being passionate right now to inject into you because you got so much stupid around you that you need to hear somebody tell you you're smart.
Yeah.
Because one of the things, if you read Henry Cloud's book Boundaries, when you're in the middle of a situation where everyone you're in contact with in a situation is violating boundaries, you begin to think you're crazy. Mm-hmm. And they're travel agents for guilt trips. I mean, they will sign you up for a guilt trip, all of them. And what I would tell his mother? Never call me again.
Oh, really? Never call me?
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. You're an idiot.
Well, she doesn't want to talk to me because I was so abusive to the son.
Yeah, good. Don't call me ever again. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear any more information through you ever.
Okay. Well,
when everybody gets cleaned up, you'll be the last one I will reconcile with after I get everybody else straightened up. But you're the problem of this. You're the root of all evil, chick. You are, man, she's bad news. She is an enabler from now on. Yeah. And so you need to get Henry Cloud's book, Boundaries. You need to read it. You are not crazy. You are right. And I got to tell you, it's very sad. It's heartbreaking one of your kids is a butt. Your kid's a butt. She's a world-class butt. And I wouldn't give her anything. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Gray is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Gray. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Dave.
Sure. How can we help?
So my wife and I finally got scared enough and mad enough at our debt to stop our plan and start your plan. Cool. And I have heard you mention in the past, there's a couple of things that you recommend before baby step 1. I believe it's term life insurance and identity theft, maybe a will, and the biggest part of this is if we are behind on our bills. So there's a couple, like a car payment and one credit card we're behind on. Do we get current before saving the $1,000, or do we save the $1,000 like crazy and then get current?
Okay, the will, the term insurance, and the identity theft insurance are just simply not a baby step. So it's not that you have to do those before you start the baby steps, but they're all something you need to do as soon as you can. Okay, but it might be that you're deep into baby step 2 before you actually implement those. I wouldn't say you have to get those done before you start baby step 1. As far as getting caught up on your bills, yeah, I would get caught up on your bills. And that's your first thing. Let's get to even. And the good news is you've already started concentrating on this, and so when you do this month's budget, you'll probably get even, won't you?
Yes, it'll probably be about 3 weeks to get even.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right.
So what happened, Gray? I'm curious for you guys. You said we got mad enough and scared enough. What?
So I got the biggest paycheck, single week paycheck in the history of my life, and it wasn't enough to pay all of our bills. And I was scared. My wife was scared the day before we got the paycheck because she saw how much it was going to be and said that's not enough. And then I heard a debt-free scream from some people last week that they had a construction company. They sold like kitchen counters or something, and in 3 years they paid off over $1 million. And I was like, that's it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can do this, and eventually we won't have to be scared. But right now we're scared, but there's a solution that's not ours that we can get there.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I am 31 and my wife is 32.
How long you been married?
4 years.
Okay. How much are your car payments?
One vehicle is $340 and the other vehicle is $360.
Okay. Probably need to sell one of them.
Okay.
You got $700 in car payments. What's your household income?
Take home about $63,000 a year.
I know you need to sell one of
them. Okay.
And you get to pick which one, but it's probably yours, not hers. So
it's definitely my pickup truck is going.
Okay. So here's the thing. You said like 5 times that you're scared, and it's a good scared because it's the kind of scared that says, I got to get out of the middle of the road, a truck's coming. Right? That's a good scared. But with that, I've been where you are, and I remember how it feels to have your stomach in your throat and not be able to breathe. And I know how terrified my wife was, and we were your age. Okay? So, number one piece of information that you need to tell your wife tonight. Number one cause of divorce in North America today, of of marital fights, marital discord, is money stress. Number one cause. And you're square in the middle of it. And that terror that she feels and that hit on your self-esteem that you feel because you can't seem to get it together up until today, okay, it is they feed on each other. She's afraid her claws come out. That makes you feel less. When you feel less, that makes her more afraid, and it's a really vicious circle, okay? So you guys have to look at each other, take her hands in your hands, give her a big hug, and go, okay, we're doing this together. We are not going to live like this anymore, and we are not going to let this take our marriage. And as a matter of fact, it's going to make our marriage stronger. But you have to say it out loud, okay?
I can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, because I don't want that to sneak up on you, because even if you thought you had a really good marriage, and you may, but this is the ultimate stressor on a marriage. So just know that, if the number one way people die in your area is bear attack, there is a bear in your living room, okay? And so you go, oh, this is a problem. It's the number one thing, right? So, really, don't let the bear in the living room. And so that's what you got to do. You got to put your arms around her and hold on tight for the ride. Now, we're going to put you into Ramsey Plus, which will plug you into Financial Peace University. I want you to go through the classes together. We're going to put you in Every Dollar, the premium app. It's part of it, too, where you can do the budget together. And there's going to be a lot of people in there that are facing the same kind of stuff you're facing. We'll put you into a group. It's all on us. We're going to pay for it because I've been where you've been. The only thing I request is that you do everything we tell you to do and you go win. And then the second thing is someday when you're rich, you give it to some young couple that's scared, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your generosity.
And if you get scared and you don't know what to do on some little detail thing as you're working this, you call us again. We're here for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. God bless you, brother. That's
good.
That's most people.
Yeah. Yep.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. When you drive down the street, 8 out of 10 houses on your street have too much month left at the end of the money. Normal in this country today is broke, and that sucks. It's not okay. It's not okay. And that's the bad news. The good news is you can do something about it.
You get to wake up every day and make a decision. And I love even the selling the car. So mathematically, absolutely. But there's almost this like jilt in your system that you need. When you've been doing the same thing, even though it's wrong, over and over and over and over, you become comfortable, you become familiar with it. And it's almost like when you change course and you do something like this, and you just do something that feels radical. And he's like, oh, it's going to be my truck. Selling the truck, like it's going to hurt. It's not going to be fun, but you're
Cutting
doing
up my credit cards. I'm going to sell the truck. I'm not going out to eat. I'm going to do some radical stuff. I'm not living like this anymore. Ah! You got to have that thing happen down inside of you. When you do, you'll be ready, baby, and we're here to help. We can show you how. But you can wander into debt, but you can't wander out. It's not an intellectual exercise. You got to get so pissed off you can't breathe. I'm getting out. And that's right where he is. He's scared and he's mad. And oh, that's a really good place to be. This is The Ramsey Show.
All right, let's go to Steven in Springfield. What's up, Steven?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it. What's up, dude?
Oh, so I got a question on kind of how to handle. I ended up taking on Saturdays at work, so I'm bringing home about an extra $350 a week. I got about $26,000 in consumer debt through different loans and everything like that with different interest rates. So I'm just trying to figure out, every time I seem to have extra money, I throw it across the board. And I'm trying to figure out if it's better to just say, pick one, pay it off, then roll it, or what is your guys' input on something like that?
So what kind of debts are these, if you listed out the 26?
So I've got a car, credit card between me and my wife, and then I have a Peloton spin bike that has a 0%, so I kind of always throw that one on the back burner and try to go after the car that has a 5.4% and the credit card that has a 14%. But then again, every time I put $1,000 on the credit card, something comes up and it feels like that thousand's back on there.
Can we agree before George walks you through it that the way you're doing it's not working?
Correct, absolutely.
Yes, dude, you've already won. You've already won. Congratulations. All right, go for it, George.
As a fellow math nerd, on paper, you're like, well, I should pay off the highest interest debt first. That makes sense mathematically. I'll pay the least amount in interest. But what we found is that personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% nerdy head knowledge. And so the way we've seen it, where people actually get this debt out of their life once and for all, is using the debt snowball method, which is ignoring the interest rate. Just cross it out. You don't know the interest rates anymore. All you see is individual balances. We're going to pay minimum payments on all of the balances except for that smallest one. And with all that side work, all of the extra money, you're cutting expenses, selling stuff, you're going to throw that the smallest debt. It's going to free up a payment. You're going to roll it to the next one and the next one. And man, that is the fastest way. Now, is it mathematically the best way? No, you probably could save a few dollars on interest, but you'll also probably hang on to that debt for longer because it's hard to make progress.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I feel like I'm at right now, and that's slowly been listening to you guys more and more and just been trying to tackle it, and I figured here we are, and let's try to see what you guys' input on it is.
There's something powerful, Stephen, about this. You have a debt with $500, you have a debt with $300, you have a loan to a buddy for $1,500, you got a credit card with $5,000. And you get $1,000 and you throw it at that car. And it goes down to $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
You still all owe all the same people money.
Correct.
There's something else. If you owed 6 people money and you took that $1,000 and you paid off that $300 one and that $500 one, you just cut 2 sharks out of your life. There's something powerful psychologically. Like, I'm actually making progress. When you just knock 5,000 to 4,000, that's a lot of money, but it doesn't feel like it because you're still paying the same people. There's something about knocking these things out, smallest to largest, that you start to believe, oh, I can do this. And then I like it. This is me personally. I like that credit card just hanging out there, just gnawing at you.
14%.
Like it just gives you hemorrhoids. There's no preparation H in sight. You gotta just deal with it. And it makes you. I gotta get that thing out of my life. But the only way I get it is to get these other 3 out. And so I'm gonna power through. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I'm gearing up for tax returns and stuff like that. And my issue at hand was, all right, well, how am I going to use that money? If I do get any, or I always try to break even, but some years you end up getting something back. And I'm just hoping that if I do, I wanted to use it in the right way instead of year after year feeling like I'm just putting $1,000 across the board. And like you guys are saying, I still have 3 other debts that just have a little bit lower of a balance.
Yeah, dude.
You know what to do, man. Commit to this debt snowball, and you're going to be debt free in no time.
Very cool.
Great. I appreciate that.
You got it, brother. Hey, holler at us when you get all these paid off, man, and we'll celebrate with you.